It's time to predict the scores for game week 22 of this 2023-2024 Premier League season. Seems an absolute age, isn't it, since that?
Yep.
It was a double sort of weekend, week 4, game week 21, coupled with the FA Cup fourth round as well. But I can say for game week 22, top scorer was Harry Doherty, 42 with 15 points. He actually shared the spoils at the top of the scores there with Maka 0-3 also on 15 points. This, of course, over at the Superbru website. And as usual, Joggett leads the way at the top of the overall leaderboard with Eddie Video Star in second position with 205.5 points. But let's swiftly move on to game week 22. We've got 10 fixtures to predict, all taking place in midweek on Tuesday, the 30th of January, 31st on Wednesday, and February the 1st on Thursday. Premier League football on a Thursday night. Ugh, shocking.
So first up, starting with Tuesday, Forest against Arsenal. Now Arsenal starting to come back after that really bad run of form, losing to the likes of Fulham, West Ham, etc. Capping off with a really nice victory against Crystal Palace. They have not been good recently, and they're coming up against a Forest side who had a little bit of an upturn when Espirito Santo first came in, but it did start to dip with obviously Brentford coming in. They got Ivan Toney back, etc. Yeah, this one's going to be a standout Arsenal victory for me, 2-0.
2-0, yeah. I think Arsenal will win again. They weren't in the FA Cup because they were dumped by Liverpool in round 3, and it was an excellent 5-0 win in their last fixture against Crystal Palace. Palace, as you say, not doing too well. Forest with Santo at the helm. It was a defeat in their last fixture against Brentford, but you've got to say that I think that was expected, especially with Ivan Toney coming back and giving them a massive shot in the arm for the Bees there. So in this one, I think Nottingham Forest will score. It is at home as well, so they will make it difficult for the Gunners. But I think the overall quality for Arsenal will be in that 5-0 win. They did score a couple of very late goals through Martinelli. I think they will come out victorious in a 2-1 away win. We then move on to the 7:45 kickoff. This is just 15 minutes later. That first match being on TNT Sports in the UK. We've got Fulham coming up against Everton. Very difficult one to predict this one. Everton's form is all over the place. Haven't actually won in the league in their last 4 matches. Losing against Luton as well in the FA Cup. I think they were in the lead in that match as well, 1-0, and they come to the pressure from the Hatters. But in this one, I'm going to have to sit on the fence. Fulham, their form, 1 win in their last 5 matches as well. So yeah, I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw in this fixture. Yeah,
Fulham well out of form as well. Both teams all over the place, but I just fancy Fulham in this one to come back well. So let's go 1-0 to the Cottagers. Anyway, moving on, Luton against Brighton. Another one where'd you go with this as well? Brighton, very patchy form, do love a draw as of late, don't they? Whereas Luton have actually been on decent form for a team that's just come up. Both those 2 wins on the bounce, then they did lose to Chelsea, but gave them a very good game. And obviously that good draw against Burnley away as well. Where do I go with this one? I'm just going to have to play it safe and edge at Brighton 2-1.
Yeah, difficult one, this one, especially with the form of Luton Town. Maybe Hart could be ruling the head in this one. Luton, excellent win in the FA Cup, but Brighton had a brilliant win in the fourth round as well. João Pedro with a hat-trick. I think he got a couple of penalties in that match, didn't he, to take them through to the 5th round. So it could be tight, but I do fancy Brighton look really good in the FA Cup 4th round. So I'm going to go for a Brighton win. Lots of goals as usual when Brighton are in town, so I'm going to go for a 3-1 away win to the Seagulls. And next up, we've got, talking about birds on the crests of football clubs, we've got the Eagles, Crystal Palace coming up against Sheffield United. Sheffield United, rock bottom of the table, possibly playing a little better these days than earlier in the season, and I think they will make it difficult for Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace, their form has been woeful as well, but they did get that 3-1 victory in their last home match in the Premier League that they played, and I think they'll follow it up with another win here. I am going to go for a 1-0 home victory for Palace against Sheffield United, but it will be very close.
Yeah, I'm going to sit on the fence with this one. I'm going to go 1-1 Palace. I am not impressed by them as of late. And then Sheffield United, the only thing they can seem to do is just grind out draws at the moment. So yeah, 1-1. 8:15. This is a tasty one. Villa against Newcastle. Newcastle losing 4 on the bounce. Absolutely shocking. Conceding loads of goals. Villa have been quite patchy recently, but they're still cemented in the top 4. So really they need a win here. And I think Villa at Villa Park will convincingly get one over a very, very shaky Newcastle. Let's go 2-0. And that'll make it 5 losses on the bounce for the Geordies.
That's in the league though, Nathan. They had a very good away victory in London against Fulham though, didn't they? In the FA Cup 4th round. Villa won this match last season 3-0 at Villa Park. Newcastle do have a lot of players absent. I think even Almiron's got a bit of a sickness bug or something. So, form suggests that Villa will take all 3 points. But I was quite impressed with Newcastle over the weekend. So I am going to sit on the fence. Like you say, I am going to go for a 1-1 draw because Villa's form in the league haven't been that great. Just a 1 win in their last 4 matches, and that in amazing home form has sort of a little bit dipped as well. So yeah, a 1-1 draw for me. We then move on to the Wednesday fixtures where we got Manchester City taking on Burnley. It's Pep versus his old captain in Vincent Kompany. There's only going to be one winner in this one. Kevin De Bruyne is back with a new haircut as well. Excellent in the Premier League he was when he came on in the last fixture against Newcastle, where they won, was it 3-2 in the end. Yeah, Burnley, I can't see them getting anything out of this one. I'm going to go for a straightforward 4-0 victory to Manchester City, and Haaland is getting ever closer to fitness as well. Maybe we'll see him make an appearance in this match.
Yeah, for me it's going to be exactly the same as the reverse fixture, 4-0. Burnley are getting a good humbling, so happy days. Anyway, moving on, next up we've got Spurs up against Brentford. Brentford in absolutely woeful form. Then Ivan Toney comes back after his ban, turns up like the Undertaker and beats Nottingham Forest 3-2. And then Spurs, patchy form as anything. Alright draw against Man United, beating Bournemouth well, losing to Brighton, but they've been okay. Still sniffing on those Champions League places, aren't they? I probably am just going to give it to Spurs, though. I do think it is going to be tight, because with Ivan Toney coming back, I think he stood up a little bit more confidence at Brentford, so 2-1.
Yeah, at home, I fully expect Spurs to take all 3 points in this one, even though last season it was a 3-1 away win to the Bees. Ivan Toney will give them that massive boost as well, but that was probably, that big pump in the arm was probably last week. Spurs succumbing to a narrow defeat against Man City in the FA Cup. Was that on Thursday? No, Friday evening. So I'm going to go for a reverse of last season's score. So I am going to go for a 3-1 home victory to Spurs. I think Brentford have got all sorts of problems in their defensive lineup at the moment. Then we move on to the 8:15 fixture where we got Liverpool coming up against Chelsea. Liverpool was beaten, was it Norwich 5-2. Lots of goals from all over the park. Darwin Núñez getting against the goals, and he's looking really good at the moment. Jota coming against the goals, and what's interesting as well, both Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold both came off the bench after their injuries. Of course, Robinson's been out for absolutely ages. So Chelsea, it seems like Palmer's sort of dragging them along at the moment. They are currently up to 9th position, and they have actually won 3 matches on the trot. Good win against Fulham and a decent banana skin in the making there against Luton, and a match against win against Crystal Palace. So they were expected to win those types of matches, but they're coming up against a different kettle of fish here in Liverpool. Of course, Klopp has announced his departure at the end of the season, so those players are going to give everything now until the end of the season. Will want to send him probably back to Germany or wherever he ends up. Probably have a bit of a rest, I should imagine. So I'm going to give this one to Liverpool. I was thinking this is going to be about 3 or 4-1 or something, but I think it's going to be tight due to Chelsea in decent form. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 home victory to the Reds.
Nah, for me, I'm going to go 3-1. I just think, obviously, with Klopp announcing that he's going at the end of the season, they're going to just absolutely storm the league. They're going to do they're going to be like a Man City in the second half of the season, but instead of them last year, it's going to be Liverpool this season and just absolutely smash it to win the title again. So, yeah, let's go 3-1 Liverpool. Moving on to Thursday, first one up, half past 7, we got West Ham against Bournemouth. Bournemouth stuttering, 2 defeats on the bounce, 1 to Tottenham and 1 to Liverpool. Difficult fixtures, but they just seem to have not turned up there. But before that, they had loads of clean sheets, loads of good results, didn't they? And on top of that as well, to make things better, they absolutely battered Swansea 5-0 in the first half as well. That's a good humbling right there. Whereas moving on to West Ham, they've been in decent form as well, but they have drawn their last 2 games, a banana skin to Sheffield United, and then that boring 0-0 against Brighton, which you could say is an alright result. Where'd you go from this one? I have absolutely no idea. Stalemate. There's going to be goals in it. 2-2.
2-2.
Desmond's.
Yeah, I think it will end up in a stalemate because, well, either team could win this one. Could be a draw. West Ham are missing players with like AFCON, etc. and injuries. Bournemouth, bit of a dip in form in the Premier League. That 5-0 win over Swansea will give them a lot of confidence. I think David Brooks got a couple of goals in that match as well. So I am, though, going to sit on the fence. I am going to go for a 1-1 draw in this match. And the final fixture of this game week, again on Thursday, like the West Ham match. Thursday night football for Premier League. Ridiculous. We've got Wolves coming up against Manchester United. Manchester United, at the current time of recording, playing against Newport in the FA Cup and they're actually winning 2-0.
Fantastic.
Wolves themselves, decent form, getting through a bit of a derby in the FA Cup 4th round. They currently find themselves in 11th position, just the 1 defeat in 6 matches. 0-0 draw away against Brighton. This one's going to be tight. Could go either way, really. Well, you can see Wolves winning, could see Man United winning, but I am going to go for another draw in this one. I'm going to have to go for 1-1.
Yeah, Wolves are going to take a lot of confidence from that Black Country derby victory as well. But Man United's coming into it in poor form. More possible disciplinary issues off the pitch as well. A bit of a no comment before it from Erik ten Hag. So hard to say. I do want to play it safe. However, I can fully expect Wolves winning this one. However, I don't know. For some reason, I'm going to go 1-0 Man United.
Yeah, away win. Well, 1 win in the last 6 matches for the Red Devils.
Not good for them, is it?
And that concludes our predictions for Game Week 22. If you are playing along at home, then make sure you leave your predictions over at the Superbru website. These games, as I said earlier in the video, taking place sort of midweek, so we're straight into Game Week 23. So we'll have to record Game Week 23 predictions probably on Wednesday evening. But thank you for joining us once again. Enjoy your midweek Premier League fixtures, and we'll see you all in the next video.
6 shots, yeah, straight to the face, and I wanna get lost. I'm sick of this place, don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with?